Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning LaLa. And on hashtag Friday Feels, we always talk about creating lives that we love. And these two have captured these very special moments in fashion and in music for decades. I'm so excited to see the two of you working together, coming together. Henry Diltz, Nicole Galinson. How did you two meet?
Well, Nicole's mother, Jeannie Galinson, is a producer. She produced a show for a musician friend of mine who had MS. And she wanted me to shoot the photos. And I said, well, I can shoot the show, but not the rehearsal. And then I said, but your daughter, and I'd met Nicole, and I knew that in high school she was photographing her friends and making little magazines. I said, your daughter could just shoot the rehearsal. She said, do you think so? I said, sure, let me talk to her. I said, just go there and watch people and frame it up and, don't get in the way and find interesting shots.
The day after my junior prom, I'm shooting the likes of Howard Jones and Dionne Warwick, Shaka Khan by myself, just in this little rehearsal space in Van Nuys. And then we actually officially met the next day at the show.
That's right.
So you had seen my work, but we shot the show side by side. And I just remember after every song ended, I was just a bevy of technical questions. I wouldn't shut up. I was just like, what ISO do you use and how do you do this? And you kind of just took me aside and you told me something that stayed with me to this day. And you told me to just forget all of that. The most important thing was to be present in the moment. And what was going on in front of me is what I needed to concern myself with and really focus on that. And it's something I think about even when I get nervous today. So thank you for that.
It's so interesting. And it's like so diametrically opposed to the way lots of people take pictures today.
Totally.
No, exactly. Yeah. It's documentary stuff, fly on the wall. That's what I do. I watch people, and when it looks interesting, I push the button.
We only know selfies in today's world. It's all about the selfies.
So yeah.
So how did the two of you witness the community and the generations of music in the LA scene change and evolve?
I think at the heart of it is really Laurel Canyon. I think the beautiful thing about the Canyon is that, although the years have passed and the players have changed, the spirit is really still alive. It's the spirit of the Canyon is still intact. And as long as there's, a strong community of artists and musicians and creatives around to protect that, it won't ever change, nor should it. It's such a beautiful, historical, important place. And I think that's where a lot of Los Angeles' music and a lot of the greats in the industry have come from and continue to do so. So
it's because Laurel Canyon is kind of like being out in the country, just 5 minutes from Sunset Strip. And you're out in the country. And there's no lawns up there and really no sidewalks. So it's hard to have a family and children. So actors and musicians live up there. So it's a whole community of showbiz people.
Yeah.
And that's
kind of hanging out and creating.
It's kind of a miracle, I think, that when I think of bands, I think this has got to be the hardest thing. All the different personalities and different lifestyles, and they come together and they make this piece of art that it's really a miracle. You think about it. So what have you found is kind of the key things that you've witnessed in the different groups that you've seen that have people actually persevere in community?
I think trust is a big thing, especially in the industry. Feeling comfortable with who you're working with, and that even includes the photographer, and just kind of all parts just functioning and firing on all cylinders on the same level, with the same intentions and the same goals, really. Just getting very clear on that, and all believing in the same goal and working towards seeing that happen.
Is there anything you guys have learned sort of through photography that's informed your life or the way you live your life?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How much time do we have?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a people watcher. I studied. I was studying psychology in college, and then I left college and became a musician, and then I accidentally became a photographer. So I'm just kind of going where the wind blows.
Yeah.
But what was the question?
Yeah. Well, I think you nailed it. I think that sort of natural tendency or curiosity around people and what they're about and what they're up to and makes them tick makes you a fantastic photographer.
Yeah.
And
Well, being a photographer kind of gives you a passport into people's lives, because why else would you be at, Truman Capote's house shooting a Rolling Stone cover, or backstage with the Eagles or whatever. But since I was a musician, I knew how to hang out. And that's the main thing for musicians. You hang out a lot, it's a kind of a club.
Yeah.
And if you get that vibe, you can belong. You can be there.
It's all about the feel.
Definitely.
Right?
Vibes are very important.
The vibes are important, and the two of you vibe so well together. So tell us about the festival and what's happening next for you.
So we actually I started hanging out in Laurel Canyon about a year ago. I was invited to shoot this Love Street Festival that happens every year, but last year was especially special because they were honoring the song Love Street in the 50th anniversary. So the city of Los Angeles actually decided to rename a portion of the canyon Love Street to commemorate the anniversary. So Robbie Krieger and John Densmore were there to accept the commemoration.
Right.
Yes, and Michelle Phillips was there. You received an award from the city of Los Angeles, and it was just such a beautiful day, and that actually got me to meet a lot of people in the canyon and become friends with people that worked at the store or lived in the canyon. And it just kind of all blossomed from there. And I recently I've been really deeply connected to it in a way that I didn't realize I would be. But it's such a lovely place to be, and such a lovely day. That day was one of my favorite jobs I think I've ever done. It wasn't a job. It was magic. It was so beautiful. But coming up next, tomorrow night, actually, I'll be shooting Peter Frampton's show at the Forum. And his son, Julian Frampton, has a band, Julian Frampton Band, and they'll be opening. They've got a brand new EP coming out. They're incredible. Go check them out. If you're going to be there tomorrow night, I'll see you. Come say hi. And if not, definitely go check out Julian Frampton Band.
Wow.
Super cool.
Love the story, you guys.
And what about Behind the Lens?
Oh, yes.
Oh, well, tomorrow I get on a plane and fly to New York. Otherwise, I'd be there at the Frampton show. But I'm starting a week-long slideshow tour with a guy named Mick Rock, who's an English photographer, very kind of flamboyant English photographer, rock photographer, photographed David Bowie and Queen, did that famous Queen shot of the forehead.
So good.
So we're doing a joint slideshow. I'll do an hour on Laurel Canyon, and he'll do an hour on glam rock.
Wow.
Fun.
Yeah.
Well,
Super
thank
fun,
you
you
all
guys.
so much
Thank
for
you so much for
sharing
having
your art
us.
and the way you captured it. It's truly magic. Stay tuned. We'll be back
Thank you.
tomorrow. Good morning, La La Land.